Jenny vs. Bijin Miko Girls, directed by Hitoshi Ono, was released on September 30th, 2022. Bambi Watanabe has been included Natsuki Kawamura, Momi Katayama and Yurima Yanaji, together with Lily Frankie, later. Also including Alaise Ikeda. Bambi Watanabe must including Alaise Ikeda, with cast Natsuki Kawamura as Rosie, Lily Frankie as Jeffrey, Momi Katayama as Selena, and Yurima Yanaji as Miho. Bambi Watanabe has been must including Alaise Ikeda as Jenny, Ryo Ishibashi as Albert, Pierre Taki as Erwin, Joe Dajiri as Toshi, Masaharu Fukuyama as Michael, Takumi Sato as Clifford, Masami Nagasaya as Wendy, Tomoko Yamaguchi as Christy, Makamichi Hayami as Nathaniel, and Nami Iwasaki as Camille. Bambi Watanabe has been including Lily Frankie and still Natsuki Kawamura too. Also including Alaise Ikeda. Lily Frankie loves Alaise Ikeda and Bambi Watanabe. Jenny vs. Bijin Miko Girls was released on September 30th, 2022. After Terminate Mitamite, Shinosuke Matsushima, Jun Kunimura, Misato Morita, Jade Albany Petrantonio, Tatsuji Tameyama, Takanori Goju, Tokyo Imato, Takeuki Yamada, Mirai Nishichi, Miyako Sano, Miku Uehara, and Yuri Tsunamatsu. Directed by Kazuya Shiraishi, from the last film director of Jenny's film retirement, Lily Frankie reduced will giving forces including Ryo Ishibashi. Japanese illustrator, Lily Frankie as Jeffrey. From Natsuki Kawamura, Alaise Ikeda, Pierre Taki, Katero Yoshida, Joe Dajiri, Sasuke Komatsu, Tomoko Yamaguchi and Hiroki Hasagata. The naked director cast are cancelled. Lily Frankie, Pierre Taki, Katero Yoshida and Ryo Ishibashi were terminated. And Miyako Sano, Toru Muranishi, Jade Albany Petrantonio, Takato Yamamoto and Shinosuke Matsushima terminated Frankie due to cancelled or violation. Jun Kunimura cancelled. Lily Frankie had no longer agreement, except Pierre Taki. Lily Frankie ended of the naked director terminated cast and disputed and dropped. Toru Muranishi and Jade Albany Petrantonio still terminated and Jun Kunimura terminated Frankie and disputes. Meanwhile, Lily Frankie stills Natsuki Kawamura, Pierre Taki, Alaise Ikeda, Katero Yoshida, Joe Dajiri, and Masaharu Fukuyama. And return Alaise Ikeda, including Ryo Ishibashi, Jun Kunimura, Toru Muranishi and Jade Albany Petrantonio cancelled. Lily Frankie abandoned, when he must murdered by Frankie that Jun Kunimura terminated. Today's Natsuki Kawamura, Lily Frankie, Katero Yoshida, Pierre Taki, Joe Dajiri, Hiroki Hasagata, Tomoko Yamaguchi, Masaharu Fukuyama, Masami Nagasaya, and Takumi Sato will return. Alaise Ikeda including Ryo Ishibashi vs. Japanese Idol Girls with Ai Nakata, Nanami Asagi, Mio Minato, Eri Furuta, Aoi Kobaguchi, Shin Otakuchi, Rumika Fukuda, Hikaru Nishimoto, Hikaru Fuchigami, Hiruma Yashizaya, Ryo Yoshida, and Yumi Mizusuki from the members of Bijin Miko Girls. Film producer Hirokazu Kurita retires from Jenny's character film series, except television. Kurita will replaced by film producer Shinichi Tsukamoto. Natsuki Kawamura stills roles as Rosie, formerly Rose. Tomoko Yamaguchi will be changed name as Christy. The mention of Tekken 4 as Christy Montero. Also people search such as Natsuki Kawamura, as Rosie, formerly known as Rose. Katero Yoshida, as Peter. Tomoko Yamaguchi, as Eva, now changed name as Christy. Pierre Taki, as Erwin. Joe Dajiri, as Toshi. Hiroki Hasagata, as Laui. Masaharu Fukuyama, as Michael. And Sasuke Komatsu, as Jackie. With Gruza Toshi Ono, screenwriter. And Shinichi Tsukamoto, film editor and producer. With including Mommy Katayama as Selena, Yuri Miyagi as Milo, Ryo Ishibashi as Albert, Elaise Ikeda as Jenny, Bando Yujiro as Subaru, Makamachi Hayami as Nathaniel, Nami Iwasaki as Camille, Asuka Kazu as Karen, Takumi Sato as Clifford, and Masami Nagasaya as Wendy. The Barbie doll failed in its introduction to Japan in the 1960s, but the long-time American favorite has been a hot item in the $80s. And that success has produced a bitter legal battle between Japan's two biggest toymakers, which are in court trading charges of unfair competition and breach of faith. Takara Limited, Japan's #2 toy manufacturer, is suing a joint venture between Mattel, Barbie's American maker, and the Japanese toymaker Bandai Company Limited. Takara had sold Barbie dolls, altered to Japanese children's taste, under license from Mattel from 1982. But Mattel abruptly terminated that agreement in January, because it felt Takara was not trying hard enough to sell other Mattel toys, and was leaking Mattel secrets to another American toymaker. Now Takara claims Mattel and arch-rival Bandai cloned their new Barbie doll from the Barbie that Takara spent 19 months and 100 million yen, about $590,000, developing. Bandai, Japan's top toymaker, began marketing the Barbie last month through the joint venture, MABA Corporation. It has exactly the same thing as our old Barbie, so we sued under the Unfair Competition Prevention Law, says spokesman Shusuke Kubota of Takara, which changed the name from Barbie to Jenny. Not so, says Fred Tang, managing director for Mattel Asia Limited. We promised Takara to make a different doll, and we did, he said in an interview. If you ask a young girl if they read different, she will say yes. If you ask her if they read similar, she will say yes. There is a kind of similarity, 2 arms, 2 legs. After unsuccessful attempts by Mattel in Japan in the 1960s to market its American Barbie, of which 1 million a week now are sold worldwide, Takara developed a Barbie that appealed to Japanese children, with a rounder face, huge eyes and small lips. Miyuki Ishii, a toy sales clerk at Ginza's Matsuzaka department store, said, "I can't tell the difference. Jenny seems to be selling better, but not many people seem to know there is a new Barbie." Takara and Mattel also are sparring over the dolls. Ad campaigns. We especially object to the ad, "Barbie has come back from America?" Kubota says. They make it sound as if our Barbie wasn't the real one. Takara Barbie was altered to better appeal to Japanese preferences, with a shorter height, large rounded manga-style eyes and a closed mouth. The doll's physical figure is more natural than the Western Barbie's exaggerated figure. Like her Western counterpart, Jenny wears a large variety of outfits, which often include street fashion, school uniforms, kimonos, and other uniquely Japanese costumes, such as bullet train stewardess Jenny. Today the Jenny doll is a sentimental favorite doll in Japan. Takara Barbie differs from a Western Barbie. Takara Barbie was altered to better appeal to Japanese preferences, with a shorter height, large rounded manga-style eyes and a closed mouth. The doll's physical figure is more natural than the Western Barbie's exaggerated figure. Like her Western counterpart, Jenny wears a large variety of outfits, which often include street fashion, school uniforms, kimono, and other uniquely Japanese costumes, such as bullet train stewardess Jenny. Today the Jenny doll is a sentimental favorite doll in Japan, but she is much less popular than Rika-chan, Japan's market leader fashion doll. Prior to 1986, the doll was known as Takara Barbie. In 1986 Takara ended their licensing agreement with Mattel, and, as they owned the rights over the Takara Barbie's design, came up with a new name for the doll. The explanation given for the name change was that Jenny was the name of a character Barbie portrayed in a play, also titled Jenny. The play was a success and Barbie had become so associated with her character's name that she decided to change it to Jenny. Jenny's boyfriend was renamed from Takara Ken to Jeff. Takara sold Barbie dolls worth 5.6 billion yen, about $33 million, last year out total sales of 51 billion yen, or $300 million, paying Mattel about 300 million yen, or $1.8 million, in royalties, Kubota says. Takara sold 6 million of the dolls. Things turned sour with Takara's 1984 to with Hasbro, the top US toy maker, to market the successful Transformer robot toy series in the United States. Mattel worried that Takara could leak Mattel secrets to Hasbro, its chief rival. Mattel approached Takara several times from 1983 to '85 to form a joint venture company to sell Barbies, but each time Takara refused. Tang said Takara probably cared less about the 4.5 billion yen $26 million worth of Barbies it sold in 1984 than the 28 billion yen $165 million worth of Transformers it sold to Hasbro the same year. Kubota insists that Mattel toys didn't succeed in Japan. Takara tried Masters of the Universe, Birdie Bird, Helicopter, Pop-Up Pictures. He says. But they just didn't sell? Mattel says Takara didn't try. Figures such as Masters of the Universe, He-Man, need stories on television to sell, but Takara never tried to get it on TV. Tang said. In January, Mattel abruptly ended its agreement with Takara and said it would sell a new Barbie in Japan. Takara's lawsuit seeks to halt MABA's Barbie production. Tang, calling the suit a lot of nonsense, notes that the new Barbie is 1 centimeter taller and twists and bends at the waist. Miyuki Ishii, a toy sales clerk at Ginza's Matsuzaka department store, said, "I can't tell the difference. Jenny seems to be selling better, but not many people seem to know there's a new Barbie." Takara and Mattel also are sparring over the dolls. Ad campaigns. We especially object to the ad, "Barbie has come back from America?" Kubota says. They make it sound as if our Barbie wasn't the real one. Takara Barbie was altered to better appeal to Japanese preferences, with a shorter height, large rounded manga-style eyes and a closed mouth. The doll's physical figure is more natural than the Western Barbie's exaggerated figure. Like her Western counterpart, Jenny wears a large variety of outfits, which often include street fashion, school uniforms, kimonos, and other uniquely Japanese costumes, such as bullet train stewardess Jenny. Today the Jenny doll is a sentimental favorite doll in Japan. Takara Barbie differs from a Western Barbie. Takara Barbie was altered to better appeal to Japanese preferences, with a shorter height, large rounded manga-style eyes and a closed mouth. The doll's physical figure is more natural than the Western Barbie's exaggerated figure. Like her Western counterpart, Jenny wears a large variety of outfits, which often include street fashion, school uniforms, kimono, and other uniquely Japanese costumes, such as bullet train stewardess Jenny. Today the Jenny doll is a sentimental favorite doll in Japan, but she is much less popular than Rika-chan, Japan's market leader fashion doll. Prior to 1986, the doll was known as Takara Barbie. In 1986 Takara ended their licensing agreement with Mattel, and, as they owned the rights over the Takara Barbie's design, came up with a new name for the doll. The explanation given for the name change was that Jenny was the name of a character Barbie portrayed in a play, also titled Jenny. The play was a success and Barbie had become so associated with her character's name that she decided to change it to Jenny. Jenny's boyfriend was renamed from Takara Ken to Jeff. Tokyo, Japan, August 30, 2010, Tommy Company, Limited, President, Kantaro Tomiyama, announces a renewal of the Jenny line of fashion dolls and accessories. From September 16, 2010, the renewed line will launch at toy retailers nationwide. This marks the first time in 10 years for Jenny's face to get a refresh, and in keeping with the latest fashion trend, her eyes will get enhanced eye power, along with other subtle changes. Under the theme of complete coordination, the line will get a new product lineup, new package design, and even a completely new Jenny logo. Since Jenny's introduction in 1986, the line has reflected the fashions of the times. The renewed line, again setting Jenny as a fashion model, introduces the theme of complete coordination. The renewed Jenny, along with 4 friends, introduces 5 different fashion styles to suit a wide variety of tastes, including cool style and princess style. As always, the line features fashions with an exceptionally high level of quality and detail. In the works are doll box sets with apparel and accessories included, and other apparel and accessory sets including tops, bottoms and accessories, bags, shoes, etc., sold separately, for complete fun in fashion coordination. The new line-up includes the new Exchange Jenny, featuring multiple hair extensions for changing hairstyles, SRP by $3,990, including 5% Japan consumption tax. 4 other friends of Jenny doll sets, Cheyenne, Yano, Jessica and Mireille, each including a variety of hair and makeup accessories, and affordable apparel and accessory items called Warbox items, with the first 35 items to be launched in September and 25 more items in November, SRP by $630, including tax. In all, 77 new products are planned, and Tommy is targeting by $1 billion in sales for the Jenny line over the next 3 years. The latest refresh for Jenny reflects the eye power fashion trend, emphasizing glamorous makeup and fashion for the eyes, so Jenny's eyes have been made slightly larger and the eyelashes given more volume. The new Jenny logo and packaging has also been given a bold black and pink motif for a lovely and cool image. 27 cm Jenny dolls are designed to fit the Jenny character persona as a fashion model, with a tall and slender shape and beautiful legs which look good in any type of fashion. Young girls who can't yet wear high fashion clothes themselves can immerse themselves in the pretend world of a professional stylists by dressing up Jenny in all the fashionable styles they can imagine and dream about for themselves. This type of play is an invaluable facet of learning for young girls, which teaches them about aesthetics and fashion, while also expanding their imaginations. The Jenny line has its roots in pre-merger Takara's Barbie line, which was sold under license from Mattel. Takara created its own version Barbie doll for the Japanese line with a look and shape more appealing to Japanese girls. In 1986, when the contract with Mattel ended, Takara relaunched the line, changing the name from Barbie to Jenny, and the current line was born. The original Jenny story set the Jenny character as a 17-year-old fashion model from Los Angeles, with many friends included in the line. Over time, the themes and fashions of the line have changed to reflect the changes in the real world. For young girls, Jenny represents a fashionable, mature young woman to whom they can aspire. Jenny has also been admired for its excellent quality by parents as well as doll collectors around the world, and many renowned designer brands have also collaborated in the Jenny line. P stands for Pretty Bunny, and the Pretty Bunny stores were located in Tokyo, Japan. They sold the P store Barbie dolls who were exclusively made for the Japanese market from 1986 to 1988. There were a very limited number of these dolls sent to the United States to a few select specialty stores. The P stores were only open for a year and a half, from July 1986 to February 1988. In 1986, after Mattel ended its licensing agreement with Takara Company, a company Mattel teamed up with in 1982 to develop a fashion doll for the Japanese market. They immediately entered into an agreement with Bandai Company Limited of Japan. They named their company Mada, which is the first two letters of each company's name. Bandai was founded in 1950 and is now the third largest toy manufacturer in the world. Mattel and Hasbro are numbers 1 and 2. Mr. Kamiya, an employee of Bandai, came up with the idea of these reproduction dolls. He wanted them to have the same high-quality standards as the early Barbie dolls. The faces of the B.A. store Barbie dolls were made using two of the vintage face molds from the 1960s. They were the 1961 face mold from the Ponytail Barbie and the face mold from the 1967 Twist and Turn Barbie. The 1961 face came with either a bubble cut or ponytail hairstyle. The Twist and Turn face was available with a ponytail or straight hair. Both styles had blonde, red, black, or brown hair. The 1961 face mold only came with blue eyes. The 1967 face mold had a choice of brown, blue, or green eyes. Some of the dolls had rooted eyelashes as well. The clothes were recreations of the early Barbie era, the 900 and 1600 series fashions. Many of the same patterns were used, such as Lunch in the Terrace, Bride's Dream, and of course Barbie in Japan, who wore the traditional kimono. The designs used different fabrics than those used in the 1960s. Rather than designing special fabrics for these dolls, the designers went out and purchased small amounts of fabric that would be suitable and the correct scale for these high-quality outfits. Most outfits were one-of-a-kind designs that were produced in a limited supply of 40, and are highly desirable to collectors. There were also some prototypes available. Attention to detail was extremely important. These Barbie dolls came in pink boxes with the Barbie logo written in the middle of it. Also included in the box were pink tissue paper and a pedestal Barbie stand similar to the original black pedestal Barbie stand. In the bottom of the stand it reads, Mada Corporation 1986 made in Japan. Later stands have the 1988 date. Little or big girls had such fun creating the perfect doll. They could go into the store and place an order for their doll. They chose the face mold, hairstyle, and eye and hair color. They also picked out the ensemble of clothing they wanted in their doll. This could be done by mail order as well. The dolls turned out not to be as popular as hoped. During that time period customers didn't want reproductions, they wanted the originals. In June 8, 2021, actress Natsuki Kawamura retired from Blu-ray and DVD image. And her with Natsuki Kawamura joined Toyori Yanagi invites to Ginza from a visiting Lily Frankie and her Alaise Aikida that said more likely cast during, after the film of Lost Word of Jenny, Tokyo Tower. Ririko Masazawa as the role of Ayano has joined to Pier Taki, which has Katero Yoshimi and Masaharu Fukuyama. In June 2021, Natsuki Kawamura joins Yuri Yanagi and her Alaise Aikida from Ginza's newest fashion doll, with Miss Flash 2020 actress and career idol Nana Shiromaya invites to join Lily Frankie. The film was director Chaji Matsuoka that lost succeed has been upcoming films during 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Makan joins from the celebrities with Sasuke Komatsu, Michiko Ono, Kiaji Nake, Shimun Chung, Yayako Achida, Joe Najiri, Masami Nagasada, Eri Fukatsu, Hiroki Hasagata, Koru Kobayashi, Jun Murakami, Maya Mahori, Majizuka 46, Gogo Utero, Tatsuji Tamayama, Kenichi Endo, Netflix Terrace House, Aloha State star Miller Hasagata, Kikatano, Shiishiki, and Tokyo Yamato. The game was based from a Nintendo Family computer released from 1987 by Takara Company, Limited. Now Takara Tomy. That title screen was her character that faces smiles that simply called Babyface, Kenneth Edmonds, an R&B singer. Simply called Lost Word of Jenny. The film was released by Toho on July 23, Jenny's so attractive is the fact that everyone can project into her any character. There are 55 products. Takaratomi Tommy Jenny friend doll Milan in kimono from Japan. Barbie black magic outfit pieces. 0 bids, $14.95. Listed, January 16, 1857. Dolls. Among these true individuals are Tom, a deadlocked breakdancer, and Raph, a blonde, distinguished Lothario. We found something similar. Scuba diving, and aquabics. 2020 Barbie Convention gifts and tote bag. A great success that she decided to adopt the name of the part she was playing. Mouse over to zoom, click to enlarge, X $11. Currently Jenny is being produced by Takara/Tommy, and here is a link to the official Jenny site. Forman Takara Barbie Excelina. They are now priced around 70,000 yen in each. Mattel withdrew their license in 1986. Takara changed her name to Jenny. Make her into the person of her/his choice. Sell one like this. Make offer, Takara Jenny doll boyfriend Tom with long hair mid-1992. Barbie, adapted to Japanese children's taste, exclusively for the Japanese market. She was created to be a doll similar to Barbie but that Japanese little girls would like. Prior to 1986, the doll was known as Takara Barbie. Estate, Takara Kimono Jenny doll 1981, Kimono, original box, made in Japan. The doll was known as Takara Barbie, and in 1986 the doll was renamed Jenny, after Takara ended their licensing agreement with Mattel. Condition, used. That model was Agnes. Nowadays regular Mattel Barbies are sold in Japan, but Jenny ending today at 2:21 p.m. 1H 57 meters. Takara Jenny doll nice. Price $50.00. Lika-chan, full name Likatama, is a dress-up doll series introduced in Japan on July 4, 1967 by Takara, enjoying the same kind of popularity in Japan as the Barbie series does in the United States. 1962 Vogue Baby Deer musical doll, 12 inches or 18 inches tall, has Swiss musical mechanism inside doll, plays Rockabye Baby. 1963 Vogue moving musical Baby Deer doll, 12 or 18 inches tall, same doll as above, now wiggles to Old Florida, because several years later, new friends bearing the same names Takara Supermodel Jenny doll Super Action Body $29.95. Fashion Queen Vintage. Ichiko Okazuko, now freelance 0 bids, $14.95. Listed, January 16, 1853. Enjoy the show. Additional Vogue dolls not shown. Designed and marketed after the American Barbie flopped. She represents an 11-year-old girl, fashionable but still a schoolgirl. 1 bid. 0 bids, $45. Listed, January 15, 1742. Doll links, doll identification. Links to websites for help with identifying dolls, antique, vintage, and modern, organized by years, doll name, and maker, plus other doll references. The last image, DVD, and Blu-ray of actress Natsuki Kawamura will be released simultaneously by Kodansha on June 4th. What a bummer. Seems like Makan is determined to go full throttle with her acting career. Elaise Ikeda with her Natsuki Kawamura will be inviting Jun Kunimura, Yumi Fujikazu, Kiko Mizura, Naomi Yamato, Ryuji Akiyama, Takanori Goto, Takayuki Yamada, Angela Mei and Elinori Takayama join from the movie. Was presentation of collaboration was succeed official appeal, the first over entertaining. Angela Mei joins Lily Frankie when inviting Yurino Yamaji, which include Tokyo Imato celebrating movie from among 25 days after 6 months in our year. That supposed the first today with Confessions Hour Party in Japan, officially impressed by the Japan's largest movie from the comedy romance fantasy film has decades from the 80s from based Takara Toys movies. The entertaining tour was succeed with party join Injalamedi and inviting Joe Dagiri and Yayako Achida, when counterpart of fashion doll-based Alays Aikida in Jenny costumes. The party collaboration of Masami Nagasaya, Natsuki Kawamura, Pierre Taki, Jun Kunimura, Katero Yoshida, Masaharu Fukuyama, Michiko Ono, Yuri Yamaji, Kiichi Mate, Eri Fukatsu, Koru Kobayashi, Sasuke Komatsu, Kiko Mizuura, Hiroki Hasagata, Takanori Goto, and Itanori Takayama. The news from Taipei impact COVID-19 vaccines when shortly our condition health rejects vaccines of Taiwan. The Rumble battle the ultimate instinct fighting against Satan. However, she said by the newest accessories and the new generation party from a celebrate from the movie was entry in Ginza, the rumors buffet from a Chinese opera museum from a more than entertainment of the Taiwanese television in her best all of your idol fans our destiny pop culture in Taiwan. Tamako Yamaguchi is the 7th season of Jenny in Casino. The film was released on this September. Lily Frankie stills Natsuki Kawamura and Alays Aikida. Akira Yamato terminated after Ritiko Sabura against Yayako Achida. The Bijin Miko girls they are reunited. Enemy has alliance from the lost undergoing battle. From another assault for another 25 years. From 5 decades for the latest shows and being throughout from major of collaborations from assets. Yumi Mizusaki was changed name as Miyako Teresa. Bijin Miko Girls is a girl gang member of the founders and leaders by Kori, role as a Miko from a former member of NMA 48, with leaders of Ryona, Nanami Asagi, Jasmine, Aoiko Agachi, Milky, Mio Minato, Leila, Shinota Kuchi, Yuriko, Rumika Fukuda, Eika, Hikaru Fuchigami, Hayumi, Hikaru Nishimoto, Makayo, Hiruma Yashizaya, Mayuko, Ryo Yoshida, and Miyako, now changed name as Risa, Yumi Mizusaki. From a 12-girl gang members of Bijin Miko Girls Against Jenny, Alays Aikida, and Rosie, Natsuki Kawamura. Today's film now showing on September 30th. Tamako Yamaguchi personalized with a new character against Bijin Miko Girls. Jenny was a bridge to a reunited Bijin Miko Girls against her. From a justice court disorient multiple ladies from attacking by them. Today's lineup cast from Jenny vs Bijin Miko Girls was released by Toho. It's based by toy company of Takeru Tomy. Hiro Aijida, Arisuko Maya, and Nana Asakaya announced were transferred to Toho. Lily Frankie announces that Aijida, Komaya and Asakaya moved to Lika-chan's movie, were moved to Jun Kunimura. Lily Frankie retires Jun Kunimura to go moved to Lika-chan. Today's Nami Iwasaki, Bando Yujiro, and Makamichi Hayami announces welcomes Hiro Aijida, Arisuko Maya, and Nana Asakaya, together with Nana Shiromaya. With Maya Katamuki and Asuka Kazu, Jun Kunimura welcomes Lika-chan character movie. With Eri Katsu, Toho announces Hiro Aijida, Arisuko Maya, and Nana Asakaya welcomes Lika-chan home of based movie from Fashion Doll. From a Japanese lady introduced Jun Kunimura and Eri Katsu with including Nana Shiromaya. The show reading by Joe Dagiri watches Orient Popcorn from television with Yayako Achida. Ritiko Sabura talks Yayako Achida personal, with Lily Frankie including Bambi Watanabe, Alays Aikida instead. Nana Shiromaya announced from new characters of Fashion Doll Lika-chan. Nami Iwasaki talks Lily Frankie from produced that Shiromaya had role of Lika. Mirai Nishilchi has still from Tony Sign that announcing Lily Frankie that terminated. She had currently Tony Sign. Lily Frankie announces that terminated Mirai Nishilchi from Tony Sign still. Mitsushima without Frankie, when Frankie had terminated Nishilchi and Mitsushima would be out of life. Tatsukagachi invites Mirai Nishilchi uses Tony Company sign-in that Frankie terminated Nishilchi. Announcing that Nishilchi invites Tatsukagachi. She had terminate Lily Frankie message Nishilchi termination. Meanwhile Momi Katayama joins Lily Frankie, with Natsuki Kawamura, Alays Aikida, Masaharu Fukuyama and Takumi Sato would invite Asuka Kazu, Kokoro Terada, and Serena Suzuki, where joins us with Naoki Tamuki and Hironobu Nomura. Pierre Taki invited Momi Katayama party, with Kotaro Yoshimi and Sasuke Komatsu joined to Toho Pictures, today's based toy company of Takara Tommy's Jenny doll movie. Frankie watches from Jenny Costumes by Eiza Ikeda, watches with Natsuki Kawamura, as character Rose mention of Street Fighter Alpha name, Jun Kunimura, has changed character name Hiroshi Tanabe to Freddy. Kazu announced Natsuki Kawamura with Jun Kunimura's character changed as Freddy. Message from Eiza Ikeda when Helen decided to close her wonderful site featuring Jenny and Lika and friends. She most graciously offered it to the folks in her list to copy and keep or do whatever they wished with. I couldn't bear to see such a fantastic well-thought information be lost, so I copied the complete Jenny and Lika sections to my site. Takara and the naming of dolls. I find some of the names of Jenny and her friends to be a little strange. The names of the Japanese girls, such as Kisara and Aya, are of course alright, though there's one girl from Yokohama called Julia, which is not very common among Japanese girls. But others seem less well chosen. For example, Julia is supposed to be French, the typical Parisienne, but Julia is an Anglo-Saxon name, and I never met any French woman thus called. Chelsea is also supposed to be French. If I remember well, it is the first name of one very famous American's daughter, but not what you would call your typical French name. Milfuel, from Provence, is one of the latest Jenny friends and her name is certainly French, but it's a little bit curious for a girl to have the name of a cake. I gather Takara chose it because her hobby is supposed to be baking. François is a French name, however it's not only misspelt but also in this form a boy's name. Oh well, why not, as long as the dolls are pretty. Legendary R&B artist Luther Vandross, whose smooth, silky voice gave soul to songs about life, love and relationships, died Friday. He was 54 years old. The popular crooner suffered a debilitating stroke in April 2003. Even so, his album Dance with My Father, co-written with Richard Marx, sold nearly 1 million copies in its first month of release that June. The following year, that album won 3 Grammy Awards, including Song of the Year. His 8th and final Grammy came for Best R&B Performance by a duo, the remake of The Closer I Get to You, sung with Ian Knowles. Vandross died at JFK Medical Center in Edison, New Jersey at 1:47 p.m. surrounded by family, friends and a medical support team, a statement from the hospital said. Alluding to the stroke, which he never fully recovered from, hospital spokesman Rob Cavanaugh said, throughout his illness, Luther received excellent medical care and attention from his medical team. Luther was deeply touched by all the thoughts and wishes from his fans. Vandross songs and emotionally charged ballads carry a signature sound. During his 4-decade career, Vandross sold more than 25 million copies, each one of his 14 albums achieving either platinum or multi-platinum status. Luther Rumsoni Vandross was born into a New York City family steeped in the traditions of gospel and soul. He began his career writing and performing jingles for television commercials. He even appeared in Sesame Street in October 1969. It was, after a chance meeting with David Bowie at a recording studio in 1975, that Vandross was asked to sing backup on Bowie's hit album, Young Americans. Later, Vandross served as Bowie's opening act. Vandross also sang backup for Bette Midler and Barbra Streisand. When record companies rejected him, Vandross used his own money to produce his 1981 debut album, Never Too Much. It went on to top the R&B charts and sold 2 million copies. By the end of the 1980s, Vandross had nearly 24 smash singles, including Give Me the Reason, Stop to Love and There's Nothing Better Than Love, made with Gregory Hines. Arguably his most memorable hit was the 1989 classic, Here and Now, which has become a wedding staple. The momentum carried into the 1990s, with Vandross recording The Best Things in Life Are Free, a pop duet with Janet Jackson that hit the top 10 and number 1 in the R&B charts. He followed that in 1994 with Endless Love, a duet with Mariah Carey that reached number 2 in the pop charts. I was Luther from day one, from the day I began, and I think that's a very important thing, he once said. I think that's what sustained my career for so long is that, when I start, you know it's me. Vandross struggled with health and image problems, claiming that he lost 100 pounds 13 times. He suffered from hypertension and diabetes, which killed his siblings and his father, but refused to slow down until his stroke 2 years ago. Of Dance with My Father, he once said that title song was very emotional for me and, yes, it is based on my own experience. It's not just about losing one's father, but about missing someone who is gone, for whatever reason, and the longing you feel for that moment in the past, when you were together, he said. I made a Luther Vandross reference on at CNN, and we can't post the tape for some reason, but it happened. So please be amused. While growing up in a public housing project on Manhattan's Lower East Side, Vandross was encouraged to pursue music by his widowed mother. He began his professional career singing commercial jingles and background vocals and worked as a vocal arranger and songwriter, contributing Everybody Rejoice to the Broadway musical The Wiz in 1972. As a featured vocalist on the album The Glow of Love, 1980, by the disco group Change, Vandross came to the attention of record executives and signed with Epic, which allowed him to write and produce his own material. In 1981, Vandross's first album for that label, Never Too Much, sold more than 1 million copies, and its title song was a number 1 rhythm and blues hit. So began a long string of million-selling albums that featured Vandross's distinctive baritone, precise phrasing, and unabashedly romantic songs, including Here and Now, for which he won his first Grammy Award in 1990. His 1991 album Power of Love and the eponymous song Power of Love/Love Power both received Grammys, as did the song Your Secret Love. 1996, in the process, Vandross became one of the most popular artists in the crossover genre called urban contemporary music. As a producer, Vandross was responsible for successful albums for Dionne Warwick and Aretha Franklin, who, along with the Supremes, influenced his music. In 2003, Vandross suffered a debilitating stroke shortly before the release of what proved to be his last studio album, Dance with My Father, which earned 4 Grammy Awards, including Best R&B Album, while the title track took the award for Song of the Year.